to go first? All right, I got this one. So, you know, I was... Thank you so much, yeah?
Yeah, appreciate it. Spend some more time.
Yeah.
But we're feeling it here.
Always. I'm trying to get some communication out, get some family bonding time, and I mean, that always helps.
Oh, honestly, though, it can go either way, really. Like this Weaver, a battle lane, can get absolutely destroyed by Mars Mirana. If you get speared away, you get arrowed on top of that, you can get exploded. Battle there. Even the battle himself can just blow up. It's the same really for the other lane though. Batrider as well as Shaman, they will pleasure.
30 seconds.
It is such a tough match. And then mid lane, as we said, will probably farm. Which I feel like always really benefits to Zeus. Because Zeus, a lot of matchups where he is very heavily pleasured. But in Magnus doesn't.
So we'll see how good Zeus's game goes. One of the things I want to note is usually when we see a combination like this, a hero that can kind of survive in lane by itself, which is the Mars, right? Like a couple levels, all of a sudden I think Mars may not be able to get a lot of form, but could play it safe.
The battle begins.
Sustain, survive, and let the LGD do a lot because they want GQ to have effectiveness around the map. You know, especially, I give the example when he plays his techies, it comes from Faith Beyond, who's really good at securing his, very consistent in the off lane, usually secures his farm, whether or not he's with GQ in the lane. So I'm expecting, what, level 2, level 3, maybe Mirana to make a lot of moves. Once that 4-minute mark comes in, I expect him over mid and then moving around the map constantly. Yep. Like, that's just the way they play, and if that's successful, especially if they can maybe land an arrow on Emo, and help them close the gap, right?
Certainly.
Potentially that turns into an advantage here for nothing to say. But like you said, it's hard to really...
We're under the tower.
We're under the tower.
Just be dead here.
Body block's coming in and Emo's already in trouble. Like, the damage is there. He's going to drop for first blood. Great play there from nothing to say. You get a lot of these interesting mid matchups in terms of the players. And, you know, nothing to say used to sit at the one position in the rankings. It was like him and XM for a long time. They were duking it out back and forth. And, you know, you see like not this Emo or XM or Ori, Somnus, like all these high rank matchups, and right there, I mean, that's nothing to say. Glorious move.
Sure is. There's a huge mistake on the Zeus end. You can't just get scored like that alone. He has no shockwave, there's no way he should ever really realistically reach you. But of course, you know, it takes a little skill to recognize mistakes, turn them to something good, which they did. But yeah, Emo has to be really careful here. If you give Magnus such a good start, he already farms really fast.
Yeah.
You give him an even better start, he's gonna snowball just that much harder. Also, we saw 2 sentry boards picked up. So he's gonna be quite heavily rewarding the big camp and maybe rewarding. But picking up 2 sentries level 1 is quite the investment.
Right.
Gold there. The Monkey Kings doing just fine. I would have to see how much nerf Batrider can really do, you know. Like, if even a Monkey AA can beat a Batrider lane now, I'm absolutely convinced what the hero is.
Yeah, I mean, the value, I think a lot of people just haven't really gauged it since the nerf at the right point. Like, we're still seeing this hero be a prioritized pick quite a bit. It's surprising because he got nerfed pretty heavily. You don't normally see a hero get nerfed like that and then all of a sudden continue to stay in a prioritized pick.
Yeah, you can already see the sentry was down here. Dire. That will have to try out from oneself. Cosmos Lane is really just all about Weaver being able to push it around, Paris with the pushy that. If you get caught up with a spear arrow combination, there's a lot of them.
The question is, you know, does the Abaddon have the mana to get an Infinite Shield? Does it give you enough time to maybe get out of that combination?
Yeah. Or if the Abaddon himself, he can die really fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aggressive potential here for that master. One of the most damaging dual lanes in Dota.
And so Zeus is farming pretty well. He's 17-1 with the Magnus is 17-3.
This is a lane Zeus should win. Like, this first part was really a big blunder.
It's a big wonder because, you know, he was standing right next to the Magnus. I wasn't expecting him to be so close. Yeah. And that's ending up what gets him into a lot of trouble. JT getting pressured, cold feet on him. Jingu does go off.
I actually can't believe that Monkey.
11-3. 3 for JT.
As levels go higher, it's gonna get a little more difficult. Because level 1, level 2 Batrider is very weak.
Yeah.
Level 4, level 5 Batrider, probably the most you will have to switch out lane. They'll start to have this Batrider, you know. Once he's 6, he still has a lot of damage potential.
Do you think they should have potentially picked a more JT hero tied on board, something that's going to suit him better in this lane?
Yeah, JT is not really Batrider, it's more like a Timbers and stuff.
Yeah, Timber tied, underboard, those heroes that front lines are floating. Firefly, 9 stacks, on him. He's dead. Wow! Is it enough? No.
What's
stacks and
my army there?
Just allowing them big stacks to just
nine stacks, and he was chased aggressively.
Yeah. Well, he tried to use the Jinger to try and heal through it, right? And that ends up with him dying. This is giving up an advantage that you had in a lane that shouldn't be going your way.
But they're still okay, so they're still doing very well for themselves. But that was definitely not necessary.
Yeah.
50% damage reduction from Creed's gun.
Fly already used that Chikuchi, and well, they arrow coming in with the Starstorm. Fly trying to survive. The swarm on both these here, put a bit of damage on the Jinkyu as well as Faith Beyond, throwing it. Right clicks had a shield on him. So if he feels confident enough to continue to make these moves, and they're not even going to go for that bounty, they'll just throw a spear out. They've got 2 bounty runes picked up. Her team as Kaka comes over, 3 heroes here at bottom. This is a little bit of surprise for me. LGD, they've kept Jinkyu and Faith Beyond bottom. I was really expecting 4 minutes to happen, and Mirana would be mid.
It is always a little bit risky if you don't have an arrow setup, which then out with this 2 RP. But before RP is really like, is who's gonna catch the arrow or not? You know, it's a bit of an RNG hack. Check here on Magnus.
Yeah, they're looking to get this kill. Kaka's got him locked down, and there's the Thunder God's Wrath to get the kill. Jinkyu makes a rotation. Might get a trade here from Kaka and Will, so very well done there. At least get 1 in return. You really don't want to just be giving up kills unanswered.
And this is now getting to scary territory. Batrider level 5. At level 6, this Batrider is in trouble. If you get lassoed with like 3 more stacks, you're just dead.
Invisibility.
Invis rune picked up by Jinkyu.
But he's doing really well for himself. 38 CS on the flanking, which was considered to be a hard counter for the longest time. Maybe the Batrider nerf is just really.
You thought you were winning?
It's getting close to level 6 as well. Faith Beyond only level 4.
The Zeus get close. Network. And even though the CS doesn't look good, it's also very close to that. Fight.
Yeah.
You brought out a lot of beat.
That kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But the supports are doing a lot better on the dive side.
They'll lead back quite a bit. You've got Innocence, who's well far ahead of Ollie at the moment.
Today is surprisingly huge.
Spear, and it does connect. They've got Kaka coming over with the Hex, but here comes Innocence. Arrow, tanked by the Abaddon. God, Duke gets thrown forward.
Radiant's middle tower is
under
under
this
attack.
coil on a Kaka. They get the kill with Faith Beyond. They end up losing Ollie at least. Q9 allowing her to work with. Innocence, though, turning around, cold feet. Kaka trying to fight this. He's going to lose his life, but Fly's the Plutonic Shield. He can continue to chase it. And Innocence will lasso down on the Monkey King. TP immediately from Magnus.
Bit too early. With 3 stacks, is not enough damage. Yeah, that's the last 2 minutes cooldown. It's just like you used to be much stronger than you are. You know, like you used to be 7 by now, but yeah, these times they really they add up. Your lower level, your lower level, just overall your damage is a lot less. I'll be able to compensate for that, and of course the patch is very recent still.
That TP for nothing to say not only allows, you know, the save on a Monkey King if need be, but also puts him in the top lane, can give him power over to the Monkey King for the first time this game. So give it that little bit of a boost for the next minute or so, and you know, you try to
Dire's middle
at
tower
least
is under attack.
see how Monkey King can continue to boost his farms. He has fallen towards the middle of the pack, but at least for the moment, like for Ame, I think things are going well. I'm still wondering if he is Gonna go, yeah, and he's not gonna go for the Battlefury. We talked about that before the camera was on us, whether or not he was gonna go for the Battlefury or the Maelstrom, and he does go to the Maelstrom. I know Ame does like the Battlefury axe. He kind of popularized the build recently in the region, but you know, he'll go Maelstrom here. I think that's the right choice. I don't know if you agree.
Definitely. Like, in general, I'm not a big fan of Battlefury Monkey. Like, be it won't amount a little bit of Paris damage. I feel Maelstrom has to fight much earlier, especially when you have a Magnus who already gives you the cleave, you know?
Right.
Maelstrom is a farming item, so it doesn't really
top tower is under attack.
much. Just fight earlier, but we're gonna go Maelstrom to Axe and to BKB in the very end build. Together with Mag, he will definitely have this fast game.
And that's one of the things the panel kind of alluded to was LGD kind of have to play this aggression, make sure they can jump on things before it's really effective from an outside range. Maybe do so the same to the Weaver, because you give him enough time to farm and all this stuff, he feels confident running through these fights while he's got the outside help from Zeus.
The real problem here that I see for LGD is that Mars is a little probably free bad. That extra Magnus
should chase Ollie down, get the kill, nothing to say. It also has stack to take. He's going into the Blink Dagger. He's only a couple hundred gold off of that, and this stack on the Ancients should get him there.
Yeah, I like that adaptation. Usually would go Echo into Blink, but he's also recognizing that Mars is having a really good game, which I thought is very bad for it, because he is the guy that initiates as opposed to jump in first. You know? Nothing to say, realizing that Mars has a really bad game, switching up, going Blink Dagger first. I like that, because they need somebody to be able to jump in first.
Tower is under attack.
And of course, Blink Peak, very scary, very potent, the lineup they have. And we'll have to see how much damage the first Blink
Radiant's middle tower
AG
is
won't
under
be expecting
attack.
that.
No, the early Blink with Magnus, he backspin at the jump. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a smoke come out. And, you know, you did say that Mars is kind of having a bad game here, and I wonder if that's why Jinkyu's kind of been tethered to bottom, because you don't expect that from him. You expect a little bit more movements, right? Or he's just more protecting Faith Beyond, staying here, because they've had a couple of times where 3 heroes have been bottom for IG.
Is under attack.
And well, GQ hits him in the right place at the right time to make sure that Mars doesn't die.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It's a tough lane for Mars against the bad RPG.
Yeah, there's the RP out of the Batrider with the Ice Blast from Innocence. Oh, he's got that level 6. That helps blow up AT. The Rita's used over bottom. They pop the Aphotic Shield. They've got GQ following this up with the arrow. Starstorm gets the gun to Ollie, so that's kill on each part of the map. But the Defender God's Wrath finishes off Faith Beyond with the Ether Shot. And well, it's a 2-for-1 trade. It does force rotations here towards bottom, which is okay if you're the Monkey King, who's the guy's Moonlight Shadow going after Fly for a second. They threw the sentry down. The Balance Strike will land and pop the Jingu, as Booper's also going for a Maelstrom himself.
Yeah,
a lot of lightning in this game.
Arrow? Oh, just walked into it.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot of trouble. Starstorm, Jingu survives and gets a solo kill onto this Zeus. Yeah, Innocence was there for a second, but it was
he
all
outplayed it
Jingu.
too.
Yeah.
He's an unexpected arrow there behind the tree. It's a big loss for him. We spoke about how important the Zeus is and his game. He's still having a fantastic game, don't get me wrong, but those 2 deaths have been very unnecessary, to say the least.
That's something that I would expect to see when we saw more of IG struggling back a couple months ago. Was kind of emo making these missteps, and you know, that would kind of make us struggle there with Fly, and they've got the lasso on the Magnus. They've also got emo here. We're back trying to get to the high ground, but he's going to be short. Ice Blast coming in. That won't land. But Cold Feet flew over the Batrider. He's effective for that Ice Blast, but it's not going to die from him.
Very aggressive move to get that region rune from the Magnus.
Yeah.
So actually, Zeus has the same network with Magnus. Of course, Magnus, he didn't really prioritize his own game. Go for the Echo Saber early. He's running around quite a bit, just trying to make space for his monkey. But his Batrider is really, you know, accumulating a lot of network compared to that Mars.
That's true. He is getting a lot of network, but is that really, how effective is that? Because we've seen Batrider still feel effective with that. But now Emo got again. Ame's getting the kill on Emo. Jingu laying an arrow there. And I'm trying to say this a little bit earlier, but dude, he's been really impressive throughout the DPC, and he's been really impressive with LGD in general since he's come here. You know, he really brings a lot from the core position in the hero pool he plays. He's a lot of different heroes. You never know what he's going to play, and it keeps their drafts flexible. And he is very proficient with a lot of these heroes. And he's showing off his Mirana now against IG, who, you know, when you think of Aka, he plays Mirana really well as well. So it's cool to see him performing quite well so far for this game.
Move around the map always. Link up here on Zeus again.
Yeah, back-to-back deaths here on Emo are going to feel really bad. Nothing to say going in with that blink as well as the RP.
Fourth death.
And he's still farming well, but these deaths are really going to slow his game down. This is what we talked about OGD needing. Was the aggression, shutting down of Zeus. And now we got to see if they can continue to stride forward, or if IG, being the strong team they are, kind of stop, push, park the bus, and find their time to turn this around.
Funnily enough, we said that Batrider was the most cost, but now he's high never of IG.
He's got a Blink Dagger, so they like smoke themselves and try to get the Blink lasso. The question is on to whom.
Monkey is the better target,
yeah,
but he will also be the hardest. They know that he's at a triangle, probably want to smoke up to go to the triangle. They know they have no RP. But LGD also knows that they know they have RP, you know?
That smoke was under the ward.
It was.
And comes out, and they're starting to, they're doing the right thing. I think LGD want to fight this, so they're putting the heroes nearby, knowing that they want to go. We expect to be triangle. They're going to go cross. They got back to build on, so they go after the Mars. They got a lot of damage out on the feet. They'll get the kill. GQ turning around, throwing the arrow out. That's going to split the seams and hits on the Emo in the back lines. But they've already got the kill on Innocence and Faith Beyond, so there doesn't seem to be a follow-up from LGD. And even with LGD seeing this smoke, knowing where they wanted to go, they lose this spot. They lose too quickly.
Because they don't have RP, Mars has no Blink Dagger. I'm very surprised they chose to fight this fight, because they have no initiation. Like, who's going to go first? Mars tried to, but he just gets hexed and gets blown up immediately. Yeah. I think the best choice is just to evacuate the area, let them have it, farm the other map, other side of the map, because there's nothing to gain without your RP at that point.
And knowing that that smoke's coming, that's an easy read at that point. You know where they want to go, because they're expecting Monkey King's going to be in the triangle. Like, that. The read, you've made the proper read, but you've improperly played it by trying to fight.
The only way I can see this go Dia's way.
Balanced strike. Yeah. Ooh, there's the jump with the Star Storm. JT avoiding the arrow, but he stays close to the trees.
Out of the way,
Amit will get the kill again. So Amit continuing to find some farm and stop the net worth. Going for that axe, going into the BKB. You've followed the build right so far.
It's really like the most kind of build you can go. You're quite greedy, but not super greedy. You're still able to fight early. It just offers you a lot of damage early on.
And that's the difference between the Maelstrom and the Battle Fury. You can't really fight Battle Fury. You still want one or two more items. There with the Maelstrom, you feel a little bit more confident getting involved.
Is under attack.
The difference between Maelstrom and Battle Fury is about 2,000 gold, which is just about the point booster as well as the Ogre Axe, you know, with 300 health in there. You feel much more comfortable to join fight.
Right. So Juke Echo Saber available on the Magnus. RP's back up, so wondering if they're going to try and smoke themselves. Faith Beyond now has the Blink Dagger, but that's just a mobility item. I probably like Faith Beyond to have another item to feel more confident, but at the same time, he's your initiator. You need him to blink into that arena.
He'll need a BKB at some point, so they should shot it, Blink Dagger, no smoke up for them. Just get the bottom to open up the map a little bit. But of course, now you have the strong initiation. Now you have the Magnus, now you have the Mars, you can both jump in.
There's the last one from the Jinkyu. They'll also jump the Serpent Ward, skip right by the Tier 1 tower. Thunder God's Wrath comes in to deter LGD from coming and fending. So they kill the Jinkyu, they've dropped the Serpent Wards, which help them secure the Tier 1 tower. This is well done there by IG.
I like the way Emo is using his tools. I can already see that somebody's gonna mess up his spell because of it. Maybe XRP gets cancelled, you know? Because he's always using it at a pretty unpredictable timing, but just at the same time, you would want to blink in as a magnet, you know?
Yeah.
It just randomly comes out there. Yeah.
I see what you're saying with the timing. I can kind of tell because it's not at the beginning of the fight. So like maybe they get a little hesitant and they want to fight. Oh, there's the Hex coming through, but the arena comes in. The RP is going to be used, and that lands onto 3. They get the Konakaka looking over at Emo to be able to kill the Zeus. Nothing to say now, needs to run. Got the kill on the 2. as they blink forward, continue to put pressure onto the Magnus, but the arrow comes in, that lands onto the Batrider. They've got the shockwave followed up. JT ends up dead. 3 heroes got inside of IG, and Firefly tries to make his way in. He still has help from Ali, but won't pursue any further. However, he's gonna actually run into nothing to say. Skewer back, but may not be out of harm's way. Firefly trying to get the damage out, and he'll just TP out.
I am really confused by Ego's position in these fights. Again, he was in AP range, right next to Magnus.
He TP'd into it too.
How did he end up there? Like he must have TP'd into the arena pretty much.
It was a bad spot for Emo to be in, and
it needs backline damage.
Yeah.
If he's alive, then he wins the fight hands down. But he can together with the and Shadow Champ, who by the way has really quick hands there.
Hex is great.
Like he blinked in enough to say instant Hex.
I almost want to say Hex off the fight. He would have used that RPG.
Sure, yes.
And it ends up he gets to get it off. That's the Hex is done. He picks up the Zeus and well then he ends up getting 3 kills there. Yeah, they'll go for Roche. Firefly's got the double damage. They're gonna bring JT over. This is a big Aegis for IG. Firefly, I really like when he plays this Weaver. It's where I've seen a lot of his great performances when he used to play for Keen, when he used to play for Serenity. You know, this is the hero that's just a ball out with. But he needs help from Emo. He can't continue to have Emo be the guy who dies in all these fights. He's died 5 times. Like, he's struggling.
We did not have dust on the Batrider, so fine. And he even went for Adelin's Blink Dagger, which is what you want to go for if you want, like, you're scared of your positioning, you know? But he still is getting caught out in these fights.
Yeah, he's moving too far forward. And that, I mean, that just stems also, we can see that from the first blood. He was Spirit comes in, and that's going to hit us Gap Dump. Got the Ice Box to fall dump.
Now we have Monkey Axe, all these statues standing around everywhere. A little bit difficult to change targets.
Not only does he have that mouse from the axe, but he's also obviously getting the benefits of the Empower. The farm that he gets with that extra damage coming through that he's going to be able to output.
Yes, be careful here, I mean, on Monkey King. They do not have the read now, and they might be getting caught out here.
Ooh, GQ breaks the smoke, and I think they're very okay with that. Just a pick off there for IG. They definitely wanted more.
Well done there by Shinkyu, because Monkey King was in harm's way. That smoke for him. Oh, it's through top time. They do have their Shaman Ward, probably going to drop it here. They don't have school, they don't have Blast, but isn't as strong. If LGD really wants to fight.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to hold the Serpent Ward to wait to see if anybody rotates in. Oh, okay, so they'll just drop them. They'll look to get the tower. That's going to be their first objective here. I'm okay with
Radiant's
that.
bottom
You know, I've seen Kaka be conservative with the Serpent Wards, which has cost them more, and now they're coming around back towards the arena to disappear. That's not he's one hitting on the 2. They've got the wrong time pop by Holland, but he's in a lot of trouble against the bill there on a GT. They've already picked up the Batrider as they look over. Shackle succeeded, and that is our game. God, oh no, he gets Kaka killed. Fly now trying to run. They've already taken out one, and it's innocent on LGD. They found Emo. They land the arrow with fuels, and Emo falls beyond.
Emo in the position for the 6th time for the game. His death is not death that you can easily excuse, you know, like his collateral damage. No, he's going in by himself and just getting caught out of position. Ice Blast was fast, kills the Batrider. A Batrider has all time 0 HP regained.
We'll get Kaka. He's just standing there with the shackle holding the monkey kicker. He's just giving up nothing to say.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That was really well done. But you see, Emo is just on the side by himself, getting picked up again.
He's not far enough away from that fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No, nothing's gonna happen. But really, Emo has to shape up a little bit this game. Like, he's playing very sloppy Dota. It's not something we're used to seeing. He has always been this backbone of IG, really.
Yeah. I will say Firefly's picking up the pace, though. And usually when we see Emo crumble, Firefly follows suit. Like, that's one of the things that I've noticed.
Arrow him.
Arrow comes in, Ice Blast following up. Do they have anything more with this? Cold Feet. And
he's good. Because, of course, dota2 interactions. Bad in here, for all time pop, and that's all they want.
The Yules, though, they pop this up with an arrow. He'll drop right on top of it. They should at least get one. He'll flank it for the mark. The instant hexing here. Kaka, the second circle works down the on a faith beyond. Kaka has been on it. But they've dusted up Firefly, who's continuing to chase. He's got Dust of Visits, goes after Innocence. One more shot needed to get the kill onto the ancient apparition, who will pop the wand and survive for a little bit longer, but the inevitability of death is there. Firefly get the kill. And they've taken out 2 on LGD.
That was close. That Blink is 50 range longer. That Monkey's lasso. And they'll lose another hero.
So, what I'm wondering is, does Emo's approach to these team fights need to be continuing scoring? He needs to get this ad. He's got routes of travel. Do you see a lane, if your team's going to fight, wait, box into kind of the back line. Find a quick wave that's coming into a fight the same lane. Try to find your way into the fights later.
I mean, he's doing that. It's just he's going in at a time where his team has 0% chance of winning the fight,
right.
And then he'll jump him immediately. Because they do have Monkey, they do have Mirana, they do have Mars. And even Magnus too, you know, like he itemized in a way where you don't want to get caught ever. Adrenaline Blink means you have a higher Blink range than other heroes, and you have to boost the level for movement speed. So he really has to play around that. If he ever gets caught by anything, he's dead.
As we've seen, pretty evident in this game. Arrow flying all the way over the cliff, but doesn't land on a He spots it and sidesteps it. BKB picked up, though, for nothing to say. Firefly looking for a pickoff on Innocent, but he gets past the tower. Firefly won't dive that. Although that is a kind of play that Firefly would make. He's a very aggressive player, and he'll make those really high-risk moves if, you know, he sees an opportunity.
Certainly. Times on his morph.
Yeah, that's the exact hero that I'm thinking on, where all of a sudden he gets cut out low or high in the agi and gets blown up. Yeah, that's actually the exact hero I think about when I think about Firefly.
Probably what most people think about when they think about it.
Yeah. Ice Plus comes in, Innocence gets the kill on the Shadow Shaman. Kaka, who's been on it this game, you know, he just gets caught out by himself. And now they're going to shot where they'll land the arena as well as the spear borrow time pop by Ollie. They're going to stand in front and try and stop him from TPing up. They've got the spear as well as the arrow coming in from DQ. They'll get that kill on Ollie, taking out both supports inside of IG. However, I will say Emo is getting some time to farm that out. And that's going to be a big power fight for IG. So we'll have to see how they play this.
And JP also with the BKB now. The only way to stop him is that RP. Yeah, I mean, items are coming together for both teams. Network still sitting very, very close. And we just have to see how this team is going. If Zeus is unchecked, he will deal a lot of damage, which is probably going to be the Achilles heel of LGD there, if they can get on top of him. And honestly, it's not that hard to stay out of harm's way. Once you have that Aghanim's, you can do a lot of damage globally. You don't need to be there.
You can be even later in this fight.
Radiant structures.
You just hold Nimbus like an NA, you lose half health instantly, for example.
Or you just need to throw an imp into the arena where it makes you uncomfortable for standing in the arena. That should probably help somebody if they do get caught, right? So you have a lot of options with a Nimbus where you can use it in a big utility of ways, aggressively, zoning, defensively.
I mean, Nimbus is just a great weapon.
Yeah.
One of the best action grade in all of Dota. 100%. He went for St. Joshua and BKB still. RPG into A blast and blow up and zero this game.
It's a massive
BKB as well.
And we're yet to see Wukong, so like that could be even big now in the coffin where you come in, RP, you set up the Wukongs, you've got the Ice Blast, you've got how many people are getting out of that? Not bad.
Who's ult bot?
Yeah, that's gonna get some information. Obviously a lot more prevalent. You know, Zeus is doing that when the cooldown was lower.
A lot longer.
Radiant's bottom tower is
under attack. That way. But yeah, Monkey also
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's
bottom
bottom tower is falling.
The hero.
They're gonna look for the lasso. They want to try and get up somebody. But the hex again from Kaka. And he's on it. I've said that a bunch of times already, but it's stopping Phaeton in his tracks every single time.
He really needs a BKB. He's probably gonna have to before he blinks in.
Oh god, Psychic Headband for the Shadow Shaman.
More cast range, baby.
He's getting shot as well. They start shadows from, you know, down, full screen, down.
Even smoke here. They do know where IG is. Zeus is not there. He's gonna have a hard time connecting here.
Really careful. Thunder God's Wrath. So this is gonna be a tough fight if they do take it. They're gonna lead with the Monkey King. Jumps out of the trees, and now they're going to blink over. JT was getting the last one on an Ame. Won't catch, but they throw it down the Nimbus. But this is Terse for the BKB caught by JT. He TP's out, and this is a little bit of a botched initiation from LGD to the point where everybody but Kaka gets out.
Arrow gives just range there.
Yep. Enough.
If that lasso there lands on the monkey, he's dead. It was a very quick reaction by JT. But again, second time he just blinks a little bit off.
Radiant's courier has been
He's taking the Mystic Head.
Oh yeah, for the lasso range, which has been broken him quite so far.
Well, man, when they burning the Aegis, Nimbus was there, but it's not going to do enough for BKB's being popped. Ollie, borrow time popped. And he's very good.
That's a huge loss for Radiant there. Not only did they lose Roshan, but also are going to lose the whole map now. Scale lead now for LGD.
No, actually, Kaka does take. Yeah, JT had both the quick charm as well as the psychic headband, and then
surprised that they don't get the quick lead. He is like one of the most.
Radiant middle tower has been denied.
Titan Sliver and Quickening Charm for the dire side.
Radiant are scanning.
Those Zeus going to a day again. I hope he doesn't go with that. Like a refresher makes much more sense.
Then
Yeah, I think you have more opportunity, obviously, to use the pressure. You do anything else? He doesn't like freaking blink as well. He's the last up. Comes next. He's immediately out of the Monkey King. They've also got the Night Blast comes in. It's going to hit him. Waiting for the Wound Punch. Command with the damage is already done to the Monkey King. Off the Aegis, they've got the kill on Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond buys back. Got the King coming back in just a second. He's under the Nimbus, so he gets shocked for a second. I already started retreating OGD. They pop back on the Mars, but they don't want to go for this. At least not at this moment. They're looking for maybe an arrow to connect, but sent too far back. Aegis already used. Oh, Batrider being aggressive. Excuse me. Arena comes in. JT's caught in the arena, but the spear misses, so he's free to TP.
So much aggression coming out of IG, even without all the ults. I felt like they could have easily turned it on IG. But choosing to play it defensively, you don't want to have like a botched RP suddenly, and then turn into a whole new level of disaster real quick. We now itemizing into the Scotty.
Cheese picked up was... Because nobody picked it up.
He's now on the Monkey, who is also going for the Abyssal Blade. Already has it finished, actually. So another level of Sable through BKB.
Yeah, and that's a big, you know, we talked about the lack of disables on LGD. You pick up more, and well, it's not an arrow, it's not a skill. You just land the Abyssal Blade, you jump down on somebody, and you try to get a kill.
Especially a Monkey. Like, you Abyssal summon your Wukong on top, stun him, with bounces, and they're gonna be dead Wukong for at least 2 or 3 seconds. Which of course is a massive amount of damage.
Yeah.
Kaka, it's just BKB now. But we just said they do have multiple ways of cancelling that.
We'll see if they can land them. I know it's a 6K lead for LGD, but the last 4 or 5 minutes or so, I think I've liked from IG, despite the fact that they gave up the Aegis. I think that last fight especially, they showed that they could play it. They showed a lot of restraint, not pushing the envelope if they felt uncomfortable in that spot. They backed up, they got what they could, and now they're continuing to move on. So it looks good from IG, and this game seems a lot closer than 6K. That's for sure.
The thing is, IG really has the tools to blow up anyone. If they do lasso, the Monkey King, they have no saving supports, so he will get blown up immediately during that lasso. Whereas it's a little bit easier to play for IG, where they have the Abandon, can possibly bail out someone. But again, if they get on top of Zeus, he's done. Whether there's Abandon there or not, Zeus is fine.
They're looking to go over Green. They've got the lasso coming in this as well. The arena down for the next one. Now Skeeton from Kaka as BKB. The comes in. Nothing to take it really low. Ice Blast is thrown forward. That hits on Kaka. They also use the away. They get the kill on Kaka and they lose nothing to say. Who's for 8 seconds. Now we'll look over at second.
Double damage?
Double damage. They can just turn, they can just go for this. They've got the silence on Ame for a second. Oh, God, the stun is trying to throw the balance start with the BKB pop. Now, Ame and fighting the skip for Firefly gets the passage. Forces out the ult from the Weaver. They're going to continue to chase, though. They've got Firefly running away with the spear into the balance strike. What a combination. They just want to pick up everything from that, but he's going to on the side on the entry. So he's Shiguchi's away. They get the kill on Ollie. And it's only a kill on the support when it looks so close that they were going to get fought, like even with the double damage.
Yeah, the problem here was that Batrider was just quickly outmanaged the fight for the life. It was effectively 2v4 because Zeus was very scared of getting jumped on top of him. You can see, once if he gets lassoed, like this man, if he was really tanky, he will just die. A Batrider there pops ult very nicely after there are 50 kills off the arrow from the Batrider. Those things can take it out things of the deep. But as Batrider is 0 mana, fight is effectively 2v3 and 2v4 because Zeus is very, very scared down the left side of the screen. Battling it out with the monkey who has a basher is a very, very tough task.
Yeah.
Keep getting bashed up. You don't really deal much damage with it.
And that's spear. If that latches to anything, he's
dead. But the problem is really the itemization of the Weaver is not damage. You have Maelstrom into Sinjasha into BKB. It's very expensive, and even the Skadi won't really deal that much damage. You know, it really comes down to the Zeus and the Batrider to deal damage.
Shadows take us.
He's just kind of like frontline guy that gives information for your team, you know?
Yeah. I have a question for you hopefully before this fight goes off. After BKBs are used, who has the advantage in these fights?
Definitely Radiant.
Definitely Radiant? Because I know obviously Zeus is there.
Zeus,
yeah. But if you've used all their mana, like in the last fight, then it's not as solid, right?
Yeah. I mean, the fight starts with Batrider having like only 6 mana.
Kaka. Oh, they've got a blink. The battle strike. Lasso, Fuse, Ice Blast in. Kaka falls away. And now JT is able to CP out.
He just TP'd out without BKB. That was so risky. Batrider was so close to you and him. What? Turns out okay. 5 heroes there to kill the Shadow Shaman. That's alright. Lasso should be up in about a minute's time. Skadi almost plus 1 Weaver. But they will lack damage. If Zeus is not in a comfortable position where he can do all this damage, they will lack quite a bit of damage. Weaver needs at least 1 damage item.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Deadlift, 1 maybe.
I really like this. The Ags into the Shard. We've seen how strong the Shard is.
Prize is mine.
Really is. Baden caught up again.
Looking very dead for time. It's going to be a double. Nice Blast comes in, and now coming around the other side. Firefly Balance Strike, that comes in. Innocence is going to survive, but the Flame Burn, is it enough? He'll burn. Will he melt? I think he will, yeah. Innocence dying to JT.
Yeah, so 5-5 trade, which is a lot better for IG, honestly, because the battle is very, very poor. Most of this gold comes not from the core difference, but from the core difference.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between the Bat and the Mars. Look at the Monkey King compared to the Weave.
Monkey King, but you can also see that the Magnet is not really prioritizing his own game too much. He's empowering the Monkey a lot. You can see it in the difference in network as well. Yeah. Sitting at a 60k there. But the Monkey King is massive. He has a Satanic all picked up as well. He's nigh unkillable.
Monkey King having 1 death, Firefly having 0. You know,
so
despite
far.
the fact that down 6k, Firefly is elusive.
He can die. Get stunned in the wound.
Yeah. Kind of
It's level 25. How we
especially with how like controlling these fights been with just right to each other.
Like even the Zeus, you know, you do not have enough range to outrange that last Wukong's range. You do take that fight away from the Monkey. Unless because we said they have not seen.
There was a smoke here used by LGD. They're gonna use
the
jump, tree dance, Thundergod's Wrath, that gets some of the information.
Dire are scanning.
Scan comes out and now LGD know exactly why she
tough. Oh, it's really scary. They have RP, they have Wukong command, they have a Abyssal Blade, they have a lot of
they pop that courage right to the Weaver. That information I have too much enemy to keep it. Use that. We get the gun of Shadow Shots that look over at Olive and be able to finish the heroes in themselves too. Just thinking about going in, but that's not the proper move. Oh,
He whiffed.
It's a whiff from nothing to say. Nobody misses. Down the middle, damage coming from with the beat. Like the covers guys like companies have the shackle from such a long range. They get the kill on easy on. They check out they don't have buyback on the side of D. 5 points. IG, they have found a way to potentially act it. That is a long time the 2 heroes and Roach is on its way soon. Outside the Serpent Wars, they can push, they can take objectives. IG have found an open.
They don't have the Zeus DP, however, it will be
structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
Is the big damage they have. Arrow, right at hell.
It's got the guards, so he doesn't get into there.
Dire's top tower
the TP and who's successful.
Yes.
We're probably gonna lose. Arrow though.
It's
everything.
It's a big thing though. Yeah, that
was a big win for sure. And it was really close to Monkey King has a panic if he just gets one hit off.
Dyer's
but no,
top barracks are under attack.
Him last second, kills him.
Dyer's
Really just kills him by 600. Suddenly kind of fight on this way.
And the game flops up a fresh orb available on this dude. They could get control of this Roche. It's about to be up. That's a big problem for LGD. They need after this. They need to be able to 24 seconds before they've got everybody to stop LGD. They're certainly
Hope can be available though. I don't think they saw it, but it's a big click as well.
Ooh, they also have the shard.
Oh, they did see it. They saw it under the observer ward.
So now they know that they can play over on a Roach, which is going to be fun right now. Look back at this. They've got the arena down the Ollie in this one. And BKB start to get block. Hey, just the opportunity. Coming up with control the area and get themselves ages. Looks like it's dying fast. I can't believe he's up. The ag book that was picked up by the Monkey King. We're gonna go here onto Hockey, but it's only gonna be ages. He swiped it away from LGD. For the Adamant. Mars is all the way on the other side, dying again. He has no payback.
But this into X, you see that? But trying to lasso his head, but because of X, he lassoed the enemy as well in 20 seconds. Hold on. I didn't work like that. Mars, well, his teammate.
That's wild.
That's on 20 seconds cooldown also. That's crazy. I did not know work like that.
They gave the Ag blessing to Mirana. Let's take a look at this fight one more time. Watch GT if you guys did not notice this in your fight.
Look at that.
He's back up all what's going on here? Mars is dead. No
damage. The ages all that went on the pit.
He walked into the pit. He walked in with authority.
The Agon shot on who?
On Mirana.
Okay. Not the best Axe, not the worst. Will deal a little bit more damage. But of course, that Axe, I mean, that Aegis is really what you were looking for here on the Monkey King. The Weaver as well. So pick up 2 items.
Just wiped off 3.
Keep Axe 2. Suddenly there's a bad items. Luckily, they took it away from him. Luckily, they took it away from him. I'd rather say, and Mechanic, they just taught me.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Island crashing the sitting on for 1 second.
There's a smoke.
They want to Ollie. So look over, they hit the bat. Strike. Gotagas comes in. He needs to be careful, but the invisibility, they got the back. He's looking ahead. I'm getting the kill on the mark. They're both without both back.
Last one.
Oh my god. Again.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
This is wild.
Dyer's bottom tower has fallen.
And I'm cheating. He got jumped without being reactivated once more. He has to be really careful. If he ever fights without BKB, he gets blown up. This is where the Zeus really comes into play. All that magic damage is just crazy. You see, he just drops from 100 in one last. You have to save him. There's no saving support, no saving heroes. The only thing they can do is possibly actually the Weaver, but Zeus is dealing the most of them.
It seems like they need a godly RP to make anything happen, but they're
Dire's
50
middle
seconds
tower
out on it.
That's the same. Sure, at least.
Then
If not 3.
Tier 2
structures
I have
are
so
fortified.
at least they have to shoot through that. They have to see if they go for the force or start playing safe and take the bot tower instead. The mid side is definitely gone. This shaman was too much damage.
Dire's middle
26.
barracks are under attack.
Monkey King 25 for both shoots in the Weaver. About 325 for the Batrider, as well as the Magnus. The
Dire's
experience is
middle
only in the hands of IG.
Now with new tech, maybe Batrider will get a little bit more popular. I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah. Kaka Shackle with the Lotus, but they've got the RP! It's on the Weaver! He's up the tier 4s! They get the kill on a fly! They take out 99 seconds! He doesn't have buyback to look over Kaka. Can they stop his DP or kill him? And Innocence gets the kill, and also take out Ollie. Nothing to say gets the kill there. And it will be 3 dead on the side of IG. LGD finds something. A lot lost for just that.
Kaka, no buyback. At 80 seconds, Weaver might be forced to try to kill. However, Zeus will be able to defend these towers. They have to see if they can breach high ground. If Weaver bites back, that is suddenly a winning condition for the Dire team. That if he dies one more time, this was very, very over-aggressive from Kaka there. Like, there was no reason to do that on anything. It's an AA. Doesn't matter at all whether you kill him or not.
Yeah.
Big risk doesn't pay off at all.
Radiant structures
Backdoor,
are fortified.
Glit. Trying to make something happen here.
2 seconds on the Weaver. They can probably hold it. They might have to give up one side, possibly 2, depending on how much damage they deal here.
You're up a racks, set a racks in half. You should be willing to
Radiant's
give it up.
middle
You don't buy
tower
that
has
on
fallen.
This is way too
unless they
big of a
force
risk.
your 4s and all of a sudden you
Radiant's middle tower
happen.
is under attack.
Wait
They
for
do have blue cons here, and that's with the extra radius and maybe fighting the high ground if they're willing to risk it, but it is a risk. There it is. They're going to go for the last one again. It's over the Abaddon. That means he's going to for the second thing. It's just going to he's only in it and only gets one evo.
Last one can.
Heat onto the Zeus. They so set 10 seconds. They're going to get this rack. The Thundercrowd comes in as well. Na'Ami, they'll use the balance start. It's on the back line. The Abaddon, they speed on the Ollie. He's already used the borrowed tongue. The lasso. He got arrowed. He's going to kill there on the Ollie.
Does killing you make
Take out this Abaddon, and they will use it. They've taken a set of racks. They the racks they came for, they get killed, and back up unscathed.
I love the way Abaddon running in. He's like, yeah, last me. You got to get me too. They're so afraid of edging him than Abaddon now.
They're going to go after Serpent Wards. They're here. Nimbus in. They've got Black Zone. Oh, they're peeking on GQ. Now, no buyback control for fourth Mirana.
I always think last turn too. It's on his teammate. That's why they take a cooldown.
And what notice it's on purpose.
It is sure.
Ox tanky, he runs in and he's your last target. He just stands any
Radiant
you lasso
scan.
Ollie on purpose, and then you're saving the Abaddon, pulling another hero, get it on cooldown for 20 seconds.
But it's also because he has borrowed time, of course. If he's
so
ever in
strong.
trouble, he would have the borrowed time you lasso him anyway. And it's just cooldown reduction is too strong.
Yeah.
It's minus 70 seconds cooldown, basically. And every last.
And it's basically free when you know Ollie's not going to die in people.
Yeah.
That's absurd. That's
It's a
such
great
an
way
interaction.
to also force the BKB, because BKB 70 seconds cooldown, last 20. After BKB set, they can't fight against the Zeus. It's a perfect way of baiting it out.
Somewhere, someone was screaming, how was that allowed?
Best frog.
There's definitely a lot of that in chat, for sure. Oh my god, and yet, it feels like IG are so strong right now. They're still got AK, but it feels like this is their game still. It feels like it's theirs to lose. They got drafted, they got to come out of the apparition. There's no saving Innocence on this one. Dropped in Nimbus on Innocence. He does have buyback. That's another kill.
Long cooldown. This time it's on 10 seconds rather than 20.
And Ollie didn't run up and just.
Yeah, he said, oh, what are you doing, man?
Where are you?
Oh, now I had to lasso him.
God, Aether. Oh,
It's going.
Arcane
If
rune.
Zeus is giving an arcane rune.
You know
to
they've
his
got a
ally.
plan.
Yeah.
That's
However, his ass is in the bandbag right now.
for now.
For now, yes. 80
Pop that
seconds.
arcane rune and swap
Dire's
it.
It's actually
Bottom tower
90
is
seconds
under
cooldown
attack.
reduction, by the way, not 70.
That's.
That-
Go bottom tier 2. Snow is picked up here for the week. They've got the Hex. They've got the Hex in the shackle. He comes in, trying to save this monkey king. He's trying to get who comes up, but he's under the Nemesis still. In diagram for the Nemesis. They have to get the Zeus to be down around Ollie, who's popped the borrowed time. Big push, Faith beyond fact, they're going to retreat into the command. Nothing to say, needs to get out. The Barbite trying to come in. Right clicks through, only doing a little bit of damage on nothing to say, but they've used Wukongs, they've used RP, they've used Arena, they've used everything on LGD, and get nothing for it but a kill onto a Shadow Shaman.
And they still have pods available. You might see them here try to pressure the Hakon. I don't know if they quite will, because they also don't have Lasso available yet. They don't have all the ults, as well as Nimbuses. A lot of experiments on both sides.
52 seconds till front of God's Wrath, so they might take it easy for a little bit. Also, Perspective Roche. That's coming in soon.
Roche, yes. They do ever have the Shaman ward. They don't have an easy way of killing them when they die. So they can just potentially put on the ward and see what happens.
Serpent War Spear, though, that's gonna land! Uh-oh, Wi-Fi, he's been caught! Ami trying to get the kill here, they get the kill on a Wi-Fi, gonna take him out for 100 seconds. These guys with buyback borrowed to Popeye Ollie once again, they're gonna continue to chase. There's nothing to say, he's looking over and stop that Shadow Blade, so he's invis for the moment, but he's gonna be spotted. The last comes down again on Ollie, for 20 seconds, cool down the looking at the last stuff, and his hair comes to BKB, still going after Ollie, should be able to get the kill with the rest of the team, following this one up, as Emo, he's been found, comes to BKB, they get the arena round on JT, they've caught the Batrider, they'll follow it up with an arrow, they'll get the kill on the bat, and take out 3. That is a successful fight for LGD. They picked up a fresh run on Monkey King, and now Roche is a long ways out, but still looks like a possibility for LGD to take.
Run them down.
150, or rather 130 seconds. 30, what am I saying? 100 seconds until Roshan is up. And they map again. And they will probably just try to pressure the high ground here, possibly get a second side, equalize the Rex count. Very sloppy there by Fly, getting caught out by a spear, just getting speared onto the tower. They have to be very careful. It's very hard for them to save him, you know. A Batrider does have a force step, but he doesn't have a blink dagger. He can't immediately reposition himself.
Right.
So Fly needs to work it a little bit more, because these mistakes in this big scenario are always very important. Especially to fight into a lineup without RP and Monkey. You know, you don't want to die like this.
Roche.
Radiant's courier has been
It seems like forever. It's
a
just
minute.
taking so long.
1 minute. And they're all just waiting there. Like they're expecting it to spawn very soon, but they're losing a lot of potential pressure here. I feel that they could have at least got the map control back.
Yeah.
Like at least to push the bot lane all the way back to their side, you know? But still knocking on the dire side right now. A lot of information given here to IG, who are now down 15k. But it really doesn't matter at this point.
I think the network does matter at this point. The way the interactions are going in the damage, yeah. We're 50 minutes into the game, 10 minutes till tier 5. We've got an Abyssal Blade now for the Mark. Like, this is control that LGD need to take these fights. The fights are really 50-50, I think, at this point. It's 16k, and I'm sorry, I just said this, but throw the net worth number out the window. I don't think it feels like it matters that much.
Monkey Refresher could really turn the tide as well. Like double Wukongs, double BKB can make a huge difference. And we've said it,
Radiant
without BKB you're very vulnerable, and he recognized that as well.
Who do you give the attitude this time? For either side. Smoke. Final spring. Ollie. Balance strike misses. That's where they are, and now you know it.
Radiant's
They just dropped the gem on Batrider.
Roach is available.
Radiant's courier.
Already are.
He's level 22. He gets that 25. The AoE will be a problem. They're going to use this Wukong to the zone. They'll stun up Ollie for a second. Pops to borrow time. This madman is trying to run it to be the last. Oh, he comes in. They got himself a server one. They look over. There's the abyss on the ball by Wukong's off. And he's got the pressure. It's balanced right. Hitting from a distance. Nothing else coming in. Do they have the lockdown? No, not just yet. He gets it off, but Chikuchi does not have nothing to say. He ends up getting the kill on the Barbite. Barbite's going to buy back as they look over the Lazarus City out. They blocked up this phone. They get the kill to beat the No BKB, no refresher. They're going to continue to chase. Lotusorb is going to pop his oil back on Ollie, and they'll stop in their tracks now. Emo with no mana to help them out, so IG needs to refresh on everything. And wait a second before they can go in. They get the mana onto this Zeus.
BKB available on Monkey King. You can't fight this, I think.
Ollie again looking to run in. It's such a cheeky play. He's looking to just be the lasso guy. And I'm still okay with that. The Abyss Blade comes out. They've got the X-Buds following it up. Maybe, but this one comes in. They're going to get it. On Emo's with GT. He does that buyback, and the X comes out on Ollie. They're going to come to the background. And now they've got 30 heroes with no buyback. There is the arena. It's down around 45, but 4 time lapse.
all of a sudden it's 30 kills for LGD and
They all the buybacks. Only one buyback available on the Zeus. Weaver expanded his. Might just be over now. It's all but over, really. I don't see how they can just defend everything with just 2 heroes. Zeus, of course, very, very strong and come up back out of mountain, but they have so many ways of jumping him there. Multiple Abyssal Blades, long range stuns, and they don't have the tools to defend the throne. We still go for the throne.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
For the safe, they don't have buybacks. They use them all in the last fight.
Top is a tier 2. He's on Faith Beyond. Toggle on, toggle off, toggle on, toggle off. That's the trick to
Now
it.
they go for the tier 4.
And now they're over to the tier 4, trying to make something like 7 seconds. So they've got Kaka back alive. They're going to use that look and throw down the Nimbus. Wukong zoning, trying to get damage out with the ulti, the Thunder God. They go back to full health, takes out the Nimbus. They look over, they on the Magnus, they'll get the kill. Nothing to say. He forced buyback with BTB popping here back beyond. They look over, since it's working, he's not sitting essentially a bit weighted low. The ice time lapse is used for quite getting it off control. But still, the tier 4 are being damaged, they're being taken out, and all the guys one. They're looking over as the Monkey King is trying to spin his ground. Has got that 80 to cool down the Aegis exposed. They've got the RP that lands on a Kaka. They'll get the damage out now to the Shadow Shot. They should be able to get the close shot. Taking out by an evil to the stand, but the engine will fall, and LGD will take